A very good morning to one and all present here. Geeta Ratan International Business School feels immensely delighted to organize a webinar on Steps to Management Career for our MBA students. I, Dr. Ashneet Kaur, take this opportunity to welcome you all on the behalf of Geeta Ratan International Business School on this virtual platform for interaction with Dr. Felton Dean. Geeta Ratan International Business School was established in the year 2004. It is affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi, and approved by All India Council for Technical Education, Ministry of HRD, and Government of India for technical courses, and Bar Council of India for the law courses. The institute conducts various courses, namely MBA, MBA International Business, MCA, BBA, BBLLB, and BALLB. The institute is accredited as Category A by National Assessment and Accreditation Council and assessed as Category A+ by the State Fee Regulatory Committee and rated highest grading A by Joint Inspection Committee of Government of NCT of Delhi and GGSIP University. The institute has been rated Grade A by the Academic Audit Cell of GGSIP University consecutively for past 7 years. Gibbs has also been rated number 2 twice consecutively by Times B School Survey 2018 and 19. The world of work is now much more fluid than it was. Gone are the days of jobs for life where you did your time and left with a secure pension to see out your days. You now need to take responsibility for your job security and career management. Make sure you discover and utilize your innermost resources and take a self-directing approach. And this requires to plan your management career judiciously. You've got to make sure you recognize an opportunity when it comes your way. This webinar will highlight on how an MBA can change your career and what you can gain from an MBA program. It will also make the students identify and accept the new age challenges. In its perpetual pursuit to deliver existential learning and offer global exposure, Gibbs is very delighted to organize a webinar on steps to management career. And to discuss the topic, we have with us Dr. Felton Dean. Dr. Felton is currently a lead trainer in soft skill, behavioral areas, and organizational consultant. He's an agriculture graduate with MBA degree in Human Resources and Marketing, MS in Psychology, and PhD in Human Resource Management from IIM Bangalore and PhD in Psychology from University of London. He has published his PhD major thesis in soft skill training. He's also certified practitioner and trainer of neuro-linguistic programming. Dr. Lean specializes in using contemporary training methods to suit modern needs with over 15 years experience in training and empowerment. He is a visiting lecturer across many management schools for their respective MBA programs and also conducts soft skill training modules especially designed for management and engineering students. He is also a consultant advisor to many startup companies in India and abroad. He is also a business coach, counselor, and soft skill trainer. He has successfully handled training programs for corporate in India and abroad related to 7 habits of highly effective people, managerial effectiveness, time management, negotiation skills, customer service, situational management, problem solving, leadership, team building, assertiveness, and 6 thinking hats. Now, I would request Sir to take the session forward and illuminate us with his expertise. Please, Sir.
Thank you, Madam, and good morning to all my students, members of the faculty. And I've been asked to take you through the steps to a management career. So before we start, I would like to congratulate all the students for having decided to pursue a career in management. Now, you are here at the start of your management career. Many of you must have done your graduation in management, or probably done a Bachelor of Business Administration, Hotel Management, Engineering, Commerce, and so on. Now here you have decided now to make a career in the field of management. Now, my advice in the next 1 hour would be to tell you how I grew up in the last few years of my, or 2 decades of my career in the field of management. It was not something which just happened overnight. It is something which has evolved over a period of time. Now, digitally bound is something new for the people of our generation. We are trying to cope up with the change scenario, especially in 2020. When the pandemic struck, the young people like you probably coped up faster, but people like us found it difficult to get back into our own homes to work. We were so used to working outside our homes in offices, and 2020 brought us back to realize that we weren't prepared for an eventuality. So that makes sense to talk to you today about the steps to a management career. As I congratulate you in choosing an MBA program as a gateway to your career, I know there must be different reasons as to why you choose to do an MBA. Well, it could have been to start your own venture, to become an entrepreneur. It could have been to get a good job. Might be to build your career in the field of management, to step into academics. Might be out of curiosity, because let's go and see what's this MBA all about. Or it could be due to parental or peer pressure. There is definitely a reason why you have decided to do an MBA program. And you are in the right place. You know, you are in GIBS, in Geetha Rattan, and I've been associated with Geetha Rattan for quite a long time. Might be from 2013 onwards, I've been associated with Geetha Rattan. I've seen some of the best students, and the live wire students and teachers who have been part of this great institution. Now, the first step that all of you should do before you really take up this, go into this MBA program, is to think and make a paradigm shift. Make a paradigm shift. Because the paradigm shift that I'm talking about is something which wasn't there probably when you were a graduate student, an undergraduate student. It has been more of fun. There's been more of spending your time probably in non-productive activities. And that's why it's called as a bachelor's degree. So as a young bachelor undergraduate, you must have had a lot of time for fun. You must have had reasons and seasons to do certain things or not to do certain things. Now, here comes the paradigm shift. You're no longer a bachelor student. You're now a master's student. So the paradigm shift should be now that some of the things which you were used to doing earlier could be things of the past, and you need to now regroup yourself to do something different. Plan your career. I like the very beautiful saying which says, if you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. If you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. It requires you as a first semester student or a fresher in the campus to regroup yourself now, to decide that you are going to be something different from what you were in the past 3 years. This requires you to have a good paradigm shift. The way you think, the way you act, the way you did things, I think everything should change slightly. It should evolve out of that, the experience you had, to make yourself something different. People should see the change. People around you, your friends, your parents, your old teachers, they all should see that there is something new in this particular person. An MBA change. The way you walk, the way you talk, everything should change. When I said the way you walk, because now as an MBA student, you will walk with more confidence. Your body language should be something which proves to the world that, yeah, this is the person that we need to look at. This is the person that we need to look at. So this is the paradigm shift I'm talking about. The paradigm shift made great or made known strongly through Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, in which he has put 7 habits, 3 private, 3 public, and 1 which is on the whole renewal. I leave it for your curiosity to read this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It might not change you overnight, but it will give you a reason to think. You will use your thought process. You can start evolving yourself, thinking that if you did not do it, because many of the things which are written over there have been things which you have been doing, but not consistently. Make it a habit. Let success be a habit. Let your thought process be a habit. You know, the way you think, the way you do, let it all be a habit. Now you're going to inculcate a lot of managerial skills, entrepreneurial skills. I always tell students who are starting a career in the field of management to get hold of a good mentor. Get hold of a good coach. Let this coach or the mentor walk the talk with you. Or as you walk the talk, let them be there to see whether your walk and the talk are right. Get a good mentor. That's a clue, because the moment you are physically on campus, keep your eyes and ears open so that you can identify who's going to be your mentor, because sometimes you can even find your mentor amongst your peers, might be your seniors, of course, your teachers. Identify the right mentor. Sit down with this mentor. Talk openly from within. Make what is implicit explicit. Let the experience of this mentor be with you. And then you can translate these interactions into action plans, and then you can do it. Open out. Let the cobwebs that are around you as a young graduate student now turn into a master student. MBA is not a classroom learning. A lot of learning happens beyond your classroom, because you take your inputs from your classroom, you go out, you look at it, and then you start doing it. Teachers play a very important role, because they can trigger that fire in you to go out and explore. So the hard work is done in the classroom, and you perfect it by going outside and experiencing how it really happens. Might be you can talk to people, might be you can see how it is happening, or might be you can do, fail, succeed, and learn from that experience. So I'll advise you. The first one I said, you need to plan your career. Because if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. That is something which it's a cardinal sin if you're going to do that. You need to plan and then put your plans into action. The second one, I said, there should be a paradigm shift. You can no longer be what you were. You have to be something different. The second part. The third one is take time to reflect. Take time to reflect. Why did I say this? Now you might say that, well, with all these years of experience and now he's giving us all the gyan. No. I'm telling this out of my experience, how my teachers molded me and made me what I am today. The hard work of my teachers, the guidance of my mentors and coaches, bosses, parents, is what we today believe is what has made us. All that we did was we worked. The rest of the ideas were collated from different sources. The cesspool of knowledge that people have shared, that is what we call as our biggest asset. Bold enough to call, because when Madam was reading my profile, or when she was presenting my profile, I looked at it and for a moment I was thinking, right, the struggles that people put to make me what I am today. The classes that we attended, the training programs that we attended, the internships that we attended, the projects that we carried out, the presentations that we made. At that point of time, we grumbled. Today, years later, moving out of the campuses, working, we find the inputs today. It's nice to look at your own profile. And then you realize that hard work always pays, or smart work always pays. Now today, far away from where I work, I'm down south, but I'm connecting with students who are sitting in different parts of India probably. This has all happened thanks to people like you who are putting their minds together by whatever name, whether they call it Jack Bezos or, Tim Cook or all the big names, Bill Gates or our own Anil Ambani, the Tatas. So all of them, they put their minds together, and that's where. And people like you are part of the organizations who put their plans into action. Smart minds, and that's why they hire smart minds and smart brains, and not just ordinary ball people like us. We want you. We want your thinking mind, and we want that fresh mind to come out, and that's what we're looking at. I was talking to my organization, and I said I have a talk to the students of Geetha Rattan today on the steps to a management career. So my CEO was telling me, Felton, tell them that this is what we are looking at in our organization. I told him it is not early to tell them, and neither late. It's just the right time to tell them what we expect out of them. That's what I'm going to share with you. Take time to reflect, because you need to build a learning environment. I mean a learning environment. You're not coming to a campus to just while away your time. It is good to be in the cafeteria, but make your time that you spend in the cafeteria viable. Each burger that you bite into, each snack that you take, the Coke that you have, or the tea or the coffee that you have, let it be a reason for you to get an idea out of a person. Share your ideas with people. Open topics of relevance. Might be you're talking about the American politics, from Trump to Biden. What is this going to do to you and me? What is the business that we can get out of this? Is America a destination for you? How can we have an ease of business? Is the dollar going to crash? Is there going to be any change? There's so many things that you can discuss. Of course, you can discuss a bit about Netflix and the other things that you're doing around, but that should be only a small part, but the rest of it should be your thorough learning. Take time to reflect and build a learning environment. You should be happy to have a group of people, like-minded people, who are together all the time. Might be you can learn a language, a very good language. Might be you can share your case studies with a small group of people. Might be you can perfect your presentation. Might be you can perfect some of your skills, your communication. You can enhance your soft skills. You can enhance your core skills as well. Build small groups. Build a learning environment. Because that is what is surviving today. When we had lockdowns, it was the learning management system. It was the learning environment which helped us to go ahead. My boss was telling me, Felton, 2020, though it was a bad time for many people, personally for us, it was a great time. We closed in some of the best projects during 2020. We struggled in 2019 to close these projects, but in 2020, we had a facile way of closing the projects. Our business development team and the sales team, they rose up to the occasion, and they changed, and they chased, they got those things. And 2020 has been different from the others, positively. For the first time in my life, I work from home for 9 months. I never worked from home for more than 3 days. And now, in 1 year, I worked from home for 9 months. Big paradigm shift. I learned to cope up. I learned how to do things differently. And learned to manage work at home, work from home, everything. You must develop your own self-awareness. Ask yourself, who am I? I know all of you have an answer to that. But ask yourself this question, who am I? What am I capable of doing? What are the things that I can do best? Do a thorough SWOT analysis. S stands for strengths. W stands for weaknesses, which are within yourself, innate in you. Your strengths and weaknesses are within yourself. Now, the opportunities and the threats lie outside you, in the external. So during this time, before you step in, do a very good SWOT analysis. It could be a guided one with the help of your teachers, your mentors, your coaches, or your peers. Do a thorough SWOT analysis. Write down all your strengths. Even if it be a very lengthy strength list, write it down. Write down all your weaknesses. Everything, procrastination, laziness, lack of communication, unfocused, whatever it is, write down all your weaknesses. So your S and W is done. All your strengths, all your weaknesses. Your opportunities lie outside. Write them all. What are the things that you could become once you are out, or what you could become, your focus of what you want to be? Might be you could be a teacher, an entrepreneur, an entrepreneur. There are so many areas that you can do. That is the O, the opportunity. The T stands for the threats. What could stop you from grabbing these opportunities? So do a very good SWOT analysis and know yourself very well. Self-awareness, if you're aware of yourself, half the work is done. Half the work is done. The rest is to do it. That's the rest. So you need to really do a very thorough SWOT analysis. You need to identify your strengths, your weaknesses. You need to see what are the opportunities available for me today and tomorrow. And see what are the threats that could stop you from grabbing these opportunities. And mind you, your strengths and weaknesses lie within ourselves. It is with us. But the opportunities and threats are outside. Now, yesterday, I had a thorough days of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No breathing space. I found it even difficult to pick the call of Dr. Hoti a few days back. Only a message, because when you're going on a review, because we're so focused onto that. And then at the same time, you have certain other things too which you are supposed to do. You will learn the art of coping when you know yourself well. I was asking myself, what will I talk to these young group of students? I made down few notes, which you can see over here, because I did not want to overshoot my time. I just made few points of them as to what I needed to talk to this young group of young men and women. So develop your own self-awareness. How we are going to do it the way that is best suited to you. And build your emotional intelligence. It's too early to explain to it. Probably there might be a platform for me to come back to you once again, face to face, where we might interact, where we might have a little bit to share on emotional intelligence. Because as a young professional, emotional intelligence is going to play a very important role. Not a very ordinary role, a very important role. A small example. I might irritate you, but you don't get irritated. You smile, you listen to me, and the end of it, you just give me a one-word answer. Thank you. I said, oh, after irritating this person so much, the person held on to the cool, not losing their cool, but at the end of it, thanked me and went away. And while you're walking away, your confidence is that I learned something. Now, that's how important emotional intelligence is. And that is one of the important ingredients of a leader. And I'm sure you are supposed to be a leader in your own right. A leader for the future could be that you might be an entrepreneur, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a future CEO or a CMO or a CIO or a CHO. But I would like you to be one when I say that, wow, this is what should be a person in the field of management. Aware of himself or herself, and with such sort of qualities of leadership. One of the persons I always admire, I'm old school. I was Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. I read a lot about them. Because I like to see the way that they're old companies who come over a period of time. Of course, you have your own Jack Ma and so many young people today. But I learn a lot from these people, and I look at these people and say, wow, that's a difference. Well, this is the foundation, and this is the topic. Well, students, as I said, you need to have a time of reflection. Everything that you do, reflect and then do. Where after you do it, get your feedback, and then move forward. Be prudent. Be prudent at every stage of your career. Semester 1, first month in your campus, second month, third month, fourth month, first semester, second semester, you should go according to your plan. Your college, your campus, your teachers will give you some things. But there are a lot of other things which you need to take from this and then put it into practice. We cannot give you everything, but you can create a lot of things using what you got from your campus, from your teachers, from your books, from your subjects. Be updated. As I said, build a learning environment. Be updated. It is very important that you read journals, you listen to good success stories, read a lot, be a researcher, be curious, learn as much as possible, deliberate in the classrooms, prepare before you step into a classroom. That would be a very great idea, because if you can go prepare to your class, your classroom becomes the best LMS. Because the teachers will empower you, you will empower the class, and overall the level of learning would go up. I heard you are the average of 5 people around you. You are the average of 5 people around you. So if you want to raise the level, you need to have the best around you. And you should be the catalyst. You should be the catalyst, the person who can bring about a change not only to yourself, but you can also bring about a change in the people around you. The field of management should have out of this group of young students, experts. That's because you are going to create a learning environment with strong self-awareness as well as with emotional intelligence. Now, before you go ahead, set your goals or your targets. Your targets should be clear. Your goals should be specific, time-bound, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. Don't put off what you can do today for tomorrow, because for tomorrow, there'll be a lot of other things that you're supposed to do. Don't procrastinate. Don't be lazy. Be active, because you have young blood. Even today, at this age, I'm so happy that I'm doing my own exercise. I wake up in the morning and I never leave something for the next day. Only what has to be done the next day. But I go into my list of things. I check them. And only in exceptional cases where I can push things to the next day. There have been, of course. It's not that I've been so perfect. It's over a period of time that what I'm doing today has evolved. It did not happen overnight. I committed mistakes. I had to go around till such time I can today boldly say that there are a lot of things that I really labored for. And today, this is the output. You must have a clear game plan. Don't go for the game without a preparation. I was listening to a talk by Virat Kohli, and he was telling about how we evolved from the chubby young man into a determined leader. And I'm sure you know it much better than me. And that focus to be from what he was then to what he is today. One of the big brand ambassadors of the game. Grown in terms of his stature, in terms of everything. He's become an icon. Or for that matter, so many tennis players, so many football players, so many management players. They all had a clear goal. Well, today we lost one of the most brilliant football players, Diego Maradona. I'm sure many of you are updated. What a wonderful Argentinian he was. People talked about his style, and it was time for him to go. Came from very ordinary settings, from a slum to grow up, to evolve, to become a world icon. It was not just, there was a lot of goal set and targets and mind that you need to put over matters to become what you are. All these people have a clear game plan. If the Ambanis are the envy of many, it's not that it happened overnight. It was a clear game plan as to how to go about it. Our own Prime Minister, his set of mindset, the goal that he had in mind, to move from just the Chief Minister of a state in India, Gujarat, to become the Prime Minister for the second term too. And many more to come probably. Just imagine, this is not something which happened overnight. It's a clear game plan. But the goal and the targets very clear. They just put it into action. Don't set your goals or target. You need to also put it into action. Don't make your goals and say, okay, I made everything and I'm going to sleep. No. If you really need to be one of those people that the world is going to talk about today and tomorrow, you need to put your goals and your targets into action. Very, very important. Don't be lazy. Don't be a procrastinator. Always be a man on the move, on a mission. Walk the talk. As I told you at the start, this is how your mentor is going to take you through. You need to walk the talk. And after a few years, when I see great people coming out, evolving out of this batch, I should be able to tell that, well done, smart young man. You always had that spark in you. Spend your time. Your time management is the next thing I'm going to talk about. There will be a lot of time wasters. I'm sure, you have reasons to believe. A lot of time wasters. We have so many gadgets. This table is full of gadgets right now. Different mobile phones, laptops of different type that are open and kept here. Because I've logged out of my office and I'm logged into this right now. But everything has to go on. But currently, my focus is on my group of students for the 1 hour that I've committed on to. Because your time. Your time is precious. Not something to be just wasted on unprofitable work. Your time that you use should be productive. Yes, you need to interact with your friends. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. You need to have a little bit fun. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. No, I don't mean to say that you have to be dull sitting with your books. No, you need to utilize your time in a very productive manner. Might be at some point of time in the next 2 years, I might have a session on time management with you. Well, as the case, in some of the previous batches, I had handled sessions on time management. Probably it could be, if destiny is mine, then I could be giving you a session on time management. Who knows? But be aware that every moment that the Lord has blessed you with is to be productive. When you sleep, sleep well. When you're playing, play well. When you are in the classroom, stay focused. When you're doing a task, be focused on the task. And when you are planning your schedule of things, have in mind the time that you should take and not just putting some time without a thought. Give a thought to everything that you do. And if you feel that something is not needed, erase it. Do what is needed and what is going to be productive to you. If there's something which is not going to help you out, leave it out. And inculcate something or put that time into proper use for something which will give you an adequate output. So time management, because time and tide waits for none. Once time goes by, you can't reclaim it. It becomes past, it becomes history. You can look at it and only regret. So don't regret. Whatever time you have, including this time which you're sitting right now, take what is needed for yourself. And if it is not, give it away. Might be at some point of time, it might make sense. It might make sense. So I've talked about time management, your goal and your targets. No, that's not all. You need to cultivate your networks. Even today, I have networked with all my friends, my batchmates, my schoolmates. As we evolve from the different stages of life, I'm networked. Either I'm on a social media, if not, we have groups, or we have connected on LinkedIn, or might be on Twitter, or any of these things. Keep in touch with them. Let them know what is happening. Let them know you first. Let them know what you are doing right now, what you're capable of doing. Because everyone, we are not living on an island. And nobody is enemy. Everyone is a friend because everyone can collate, can coordinate. We live in a world in which nobody is an enemy because everyone is touchable. You can see, might be IBM might catch hold of somebody who's very close to, and Geo and this one might. That's the way, because there is a business for everyone. You will learn in strategies as you go on strategic management. You will learn how to have all these things going around. Might be as a startup, you might get your friends, you might get somebody. There will a lot of things that you can do. Network is very important. Network with entrepreneurs. Network with entrepreneurs, the corporate people, your seniors, your juniors. Keep networking, your teachers, people from the other institutions. Network maximum. You will get to know what is happening in the world. Might be you can share books, you can share materials, you can listen to talks, you can go to organizations and see how it is working. Network. Because if you go to LinkedIn, I'm just taking a small example. There are a lot of people who keep you engaged, who get to know you better. Because I myself have taken 3 people in an organization for junior positions through the network of LinkedIn. Sounds interesting, right? And there's so many people who have asked me, Felton, are you interested in this? We have an opening which is tailor-made for you. Opportunity. Opportunity is there when you network. So if you don't network, probably you're losing an opportunity. Network. Get on to know people. Break barriers. Don't think that, oh, they're big people, they might not talk to me. But if you're smart enough, all doors will open for you. Nothing is impossible. Your smartness. I met a young man who was in our building. He entered the 11th floor, and I was the only one in the lift. So I was on my mobile, and then he said, "Excuse me, sir, do you work in this place?" I said, "Yeah, my office is on the 11th floor." He said, "Yeah." I asked, are you working here?" He said, "No, I've come in search of a job." And then out of curiosity, I asked, "So what are you doing? Are you hunting for a job?" He said, "I have come to one organization, but I couldn't meet the person." He asked me about my organization. And by the time we came down to the ground floor, he said, "Thanks, sir, for your inputs. Can I get an opportunity in your place?" I said, "We need to look at it." I went off. But this young man in the evening, I saw him again. This time he identified me, came and said, "Sir, this is my resume." I like the way that he pushed himself. He is now a 6-7-month-old employee in an organization. That's how networking can happen. That's how. Be smart enough. You need to. Next one I would tell you is, next one of the steps is that develop your narrative. Now, what does that mean? Now, what does that mean to develop your own narrative? Suppose I were to ask you, who are you? Would you say I'm an MBA graduate? Would you talk about a few of your qualities? This is one of the questions that we ask. Tell me something about yourself. Some people say, what a stupid question to ask. And people tell us exactly what is written in their resume. But some smart cookies give us something extra to think about. Now, whatever you write about yourself, just as it's your career objective, create your narrative with the eyes for the future. Sitting here today, you should be able to tell 24 months later, what am I going to be? Create your narrative with the eyes on the future. Might be in terms of your electives. What are the specializations you're going to have and why? If you're going to be part of a club, might be your dramatics club, you have a business club, so many things that are around. Why? Why not this? If you're going out for a group activity, might be you're going for trekking, might be you're going on something which is going to create in you. Why? When you're taking your internship, why? Are you going for an internship for a learning? Are you going for an internship just for a brand name? For everything, ask, develop your narrative. What does it explain? How does it explain? Step by step, as you go ahead, develop your narrative and look at it and say, well, there's a reason why I believe I can do this. Everything with the eye on the future. If you're doing something, good today, it should be with an eye on the future. When you're sitting in the classroom and asking a question, it's with an eye on the future. When you're solving a case study, it's with the eye on the future. When you're learning a new language, it's with the eye on the future. When you're participating in a group activity, in a competition, eye on the future. Develop your own narrative. That will help you. We have 15 to 20 minutes left, probably now. You need to always be interactive. I met a student of Geeta Ratan who was in Geeta Ratan in 2015. I enjoyed talking to this person. I really don't know how those 2 hours, I was thinking, oh, these 2 hours, how will I spend? This young man gave me so much of inputs. I was a perfect listener, interrupting only to ask few questions. It was like reading 2 books within those 2 hours. Full of knowledge, very smart, and no regrets that my 2 hours were full of learning. Very interactive. Shared with me experience of his jobs. Shared with me experience of leaving the job. Shared with me experience of finding a new job. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is how you need to be. Always be interactive. In a class, never be the silent member, not by talking to your neighbor, but keeping the discussion going on. Perfect discussion. Not to discourage, not to divert, but focused. When you come into the classroom, your teacher will give you inputs, but you should be able to substantiate, bring something new and live into the classroom. So you need to create your own brand. You have to have your own personal brand. Take, for example, if I say I'm Felton, Felton should have a personal brand. People should know this Felton just because of the good or bad. Felton is this. I usually, whenever I train, I hardly have a presentation with you. You just keep a storyboard with you and then go about the storyboard. Just as I said, this is all that I have for you. Now, this can be used for probably 1 hour or probably could be used for more. That's what I call as my personal brand. Build that. Be a storer of knowledge. Be smart in your decision making. Build your soft skills as well as your core skills. Be articulate. Drive your point. Be a good communicator. Be a good team player. Have that confidence. Speak well. When you communicate with authority. You might be a student. Talk like a student. Talk like a professional student. When there is a problem, be a good problem solver, because you must be able to identify. Look at it from all angles and say, well, this can be done this way. Take a quick decisions. Or if you need to delay it, take it for a reason. Have that confidence. Be articulate, smart. Where you need to be tentative, be tentative. No, being tentative is not wrong. Where you need to be spontaneous, be spontaneous. That's how you need to inculcate yourself in the next 2 years. And whenever you're going for an internship, your personal brand should stay in the minds of people around you. Invest your time with people, the right people. Invest your time with people, the right people. Whenever I come to Geeta Ratan, earlier it used to be Dr. Chaturvedi and then Dr. Hoti. So many of the teachers, Professor Ghosh, Dr. Ghosh, and so many of these teachers, Dr. Sheetal, now Dr. Ashneet, so many people that I've interacted with. And not to forget Mr. Anirudh Jindal. You talk to each one of them. I take these things, inputs from them, go back, then I search for these inputs from where I could further on, because they are giving me an input. I need to now nurture it. I spend some very beautiful times. Might be I've come for a one-day training program, but I can tell you that I'm empowered by my interactions with this audience. I like to stay connected with the academics or the academicians because they have precise knowledge. They have the best of knowledge. We take inputs from them. We see how that can be used towards the working environment. So you are in the best hands. You're going to interact with the best of teachers. So many of them. Like I can be articulate about talking about the skills of the people around you. Utilize them to the best effort. Don't keep away from them. Some of them are very tough, but don't look at the toughness, because if they find that you're the spark, they will open out to you. Right or wrong, give the answers. If you feel something is, because without expressing, you don't know whether you're right or wrong. Don't judge it before you first express and then let people judge it. So that's why I said always be interactive. Create your personal brand. As I said, Felton is known. So when I go to office, and if I'm physically present in the office, people say that, oh, Felton, we wanted to talk to you and this and that. And when we are in the cafeteria, I said, oh, nice to get you today, at least. Otherwise, you're always busy with some work. Nice to get you in the cafeteria. There are people who offer a coffee, telling that, Felton, please drink this coffee. Now, they say that out of this coffee will come some interactions. Then you go back and say, it was nice to hear about this person, nice to learn about this person. We all create our personal brand. And when you interact with people, take some substance from that interaction and see how you can inculcate that into your plan or your substance. I would say, whenever you are in the campus, even now that you are digitally connected, interact with people and be an active participant in your college. Read, discuss, and be passionate. Now, during this lockdown, I perfected a bit more of my guitar skills. Long lost, and I got back. I started. People are now curious to know how I progressed. A guitar skill, long lost guitar skill has come back. Reading has come back. I've got plenty of time to read. Gardening, I've got plenty of time to do gardening. So many things, I've become fully involved. Work, the other passions, my hobbies, everything is now getting together. Fully involved, actively participating, whether it's cooking, whether it's writing, the singing, whether it's the guitar, everything. I've got time for everything. Because I'm saving on my travel time. I used to travel from Delhi to Gurgaon. Morning, of course, it's easier to travel, but evening it takes a long time. I'm saving almost 4 hours now daily. 4 hours. And that 4 hours is immense. I can do a lot of things. 240 minutes. Great. That's where I stand. That's where I stand. Now, young men and women who are part of this MBA program, I would suggest that stay connected. Stand for yourself. Know who you are. Know who you are. Plan your career and put that plan into practice. Don't waste your time, because time and tide waits for none. Before every decision, reflect. And let your gut feeling, let your intuition drive you. You can take inputs from your mentors, your coaches, your teachers, but ultimately, let your gut feeling, that which is there within you, decide. And that will come out of good reflection. You must be an all-rounder. You must be an all-rounder. There should be some utility in you. There should be some utility in you. For every reason and every season, there should be a utility for you. My old tree climbing skills have been used in the near past. I used to climb trees. I love to climb trees. Very recently, the very recent past, I got a chance to utilize this skill, as I said, guitar, cooking, gardening. So keep these skills. There'll be some utility, and you can be part of a very nice group if you have multiple skills. Build your soft skills, especially your communication. When you speak, you should be able to speak with confidence. I'm not talking about just one language. It could be Hindi, it could be English, it could be French, German, or Spanish. But when you speak, you should be able to speak with confidence. And when you speak, people should listen to you, just as you are a good listener as well. And have enough of knowledge with you, because when you open up, it should be like an encyclopedia. Whether it is in your core area or in your areas of interest or hobbies. Fill yourself with knowledge that is required. I'm sure when you do this, and when you inculcate these qualities, you will be able to build a very effective management career. Look at the big names, whether it's the Ambanis, when you look at India, Ambani, or you look at Satya Nadella, or you look at the people who are because all the Indians are the CEOs of global multinationals. You have enough. Look at them. What do they do? And see what you have. You can do better. That's why they're there as examples for you for the future. Now, dear students, I wish you all the best. I'm sure I will have a chance to interact with you, because I'm very positive when it comes to that. You are in the right place and the right hands, if only you know how to use it. Keep your eyes and ears open. Then you will see a great change happening in you. I need to thank all those people who have given me a chance to talk to you. And I'm sure I'll be very happy to interact with you if you have your questions. Madam?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us with your words of wisdom. And you've inspired all of us today. On the behalf of Geeta Ratan International Business School, I would like to extend my gratitude towards your humble acceptance for joining us and enlightening our students with your words of wisdom. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Dr. Felton, very good morning. I'm Dr. Uma Gulati, Academic Coordinator for MBA. I would like to raise one question, because whenever we come across with the students, all of these students, they have one popular question with them. So I would like to raise this question on their behalf. What are the popular career choices which these MBA students can opt for?
Yeah. Now, see, madam, things have changed from our traditional pattern of having human resources and, marketing and sales and finance. It's gone very specific. Like if you look at data analytics, everything has gone digital. Mm-hmm. So there's an addition of digital to it, but I would always advise students, go with the traditions. Might be you are specifying you would like to be a human resource professional, or you would like to be a marketing or a sales professional, or you need to be a finance oriented person. Mm-hmm. Go with these traditional patterns that you have. Don't go by what the others are doing. Probably some people are making it a super specialty from the time. You always have an interest. You can strengthen your interest by doing good internships as well as your own learning. Learning never stops. Learning never stops. That's why I said network. It is not what you specialize, but what skills you inculcate that will make you a professional.
Yes, sir.
So that's something I would say. Network, because especially the industry will be able, teachers will give you the best updated academic knowledge, as well as the pattern of looking at things from the right perspective. Network through them to the industry, but that will bring a change.
Okay.
That will bring a change. and keep interacting, because networking is the clue over here.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Ashneet, you can continue.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, madam, and all the best to the students, and thanks a lot to Dr. Hoti and the entire staff of Geeta Ratan.
Yes, thank you so much. We will be looking forward to some more good sessions from your side, sir.
Always available.
Kindly keep on enlightening our students. We value our students, we value our all stakeholders, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks a lot.